I'm so glad my Lord and Savior Donald Trump is finally in office. Because of that, I can now buy that $1 million mansion and car with a $20 down payment. And he said he was going to make everything really cheap, which means we'll be able to afford everything. Like, I'm just so happy, and these liberal tears are hydrating me. Get a load of this fucking bitch.
If Jesus was here right now, would you let him in?
Of course I would.
Why?
As long as he went through the proper, as long as he
came here legally. As long as Jesus Christ came to this country legally.
Never underestimate the stupidity of a Trump supporter. I'd like to see their faces when their health benefits go up double or triple. When MAGA morons want to buy a steak or a car and the prices are outrageous.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
In a few moments, I will sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all. Smart people don't like me, you know, and they don't like what we talk about.
If you're a MAGA voter that lost access to your food stamps, good. I hope you are hungry.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Actually, guys, apparently MAGA or Trump voters are giving up on Thanksgiving because of what's happening with the SNAP benefit, because they are just finding out that they voted against their own interest, and now they're in tears and people are laughing about it, and they feel like they don't feel any sympathy for every person who voted for this. So guys, let's dive in. The credit goes to the original owner of the videos. I'll be back with more commentary.
These rural Americans in this clip voted for Donald Trump, and now they cannot afford to eat. He promised he was going to make these people's lives better and fix all of the problems they are facing. However, he has done the exact opposite. Everything has gotten worse.
How big of a problem hunger is in rural America? Spend time at a mobile food bank.
It's 90% of what I consume. And I don't keep the car running. I can't afford the gas, so I have sleeping bags to stay warm.
I still feel bad that I have to come up here and sit on a line, you know, to get food. It's embarrassing as hell.
While Americans are struggling to afford gas, food, and rent, Trump has found time to do just about everything else except for his job, including giving $40 billion to Argentina. He's also found the time to demand $230 million in taxpayer money for himself. And of course, he's got plenty of time to destroy the entire east wing of the White House and replace it with a ballroom that's modeled after one of Putin's palaces. But he can't find the time or compassion to reopen the government or extend ACA tax credits that many of his rural supporters rely on to survive. This is what happens when leadership becomes a vanity project. Trump isn't governing, he is indulging himself. He's treating the presidency like a personal empire with luxury renovations and giving foreign strongmen billions of dollars. Meanwhile, his very own supporters are standing in food lines saying they can't afford gas or groceries. It's not like he doesn't have the time or resources to fix this stuff, it's that he simply doesn't want to or care.
I keep seeing all these takes, people being like, I hope these Trump voters get everything they voted for. I hope they really learn their lesson over these next 4 years. Baby, these people aren't learning any lessons. Okay, that would require learning, which they are not capable of doing. They're dumb, babe. They're just dumb people, and that's all that there is to it. They think that Democrats control the weather. They think that being part of an MLM means you're an entrepreneur, okay? They think that there are immigrants rolling around Springfield, Ohio, of all places, snatching up golden doodles, turning them into carnitas, okay? You really think a swift and severe recession is going to leach the lead from their brains? You think it's going to cure all of their personality disorders? Okay, everyone's looking for this grand unifying theory. Why did they all vote for Trump? Is it economic anxiety? Is it because these young men got absolutely zero game and they're blaming everyone else for it? And yeah, kind of, but it's mostly just because they're idiots. Okay, they're not going to understand that what's happening to them is a direct consequence of their actions because they don't have the computing power to connect A and B. Even crows have a rudimentary understanding of causality, not Trump voters. Okay, I hope everything works out. I hope Trump is a great president. It won't, and he definitely won't be. But even if not, I get to spend the rest of my life saying, I told you so, which is almost as good.
Guys, this is the time for MAGA to find out that they voted against their own interest. The best economy they were thinking of, it's something the opposite. And now it's so sad that there's still MAGA who are so blind, think like this will be over, and it's keep getting worse and worse and worse again. You see, look how the government shut down, people are not getting their paycheck. Look how they are canceling the SNAP benefit from the people. And now, of course, some of them, they are just figuring out like, we voted, like our choice was so bad, now we are suffering from it. But also MAGA, other MAGA, they're still blind, thinking like Trump is God center. That's pretty insane. It's even crazy. They don't even notice that the guy they voted for, he only focus on what you want, on satisfying his ego. That's what he's focused on. Let's keep watching, guys.
If you're a Trump supporter and you believe in American values, I would really like to hear from you on this. And for everyone else, for every second of Trump talking, you'll get 2 seconds of cute dog at the end of this video. And for the Trump supporters, I really do want to hear your opinion on this, because I honestly do not understand. I want to know how you defend this and why you would continue to support this. This clip is from today, October 23rd.
Well, I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead. Okay.
Pumpkin, that's murder. That's murder. What he just described there is murder. It's not justice. It's not law enforcement. It's murder. And the defense I don't want to hear is, oh, these are drug dealers that are killing our people, so it's okay. Because no, it's not. For 2 reasons. Number 1, and this is the one you should really care about if you believe in American values, those are not drug dealers, those are suspected drug dealers until proven otherwise in a court of law. This is one of the foundational principles of our country, that every single person accused of a crime gets to have their day in court. They get to be judged by a jury of their peers. This is one of the principles that makes our democracy great. You don't have to fear that the state is going to just up and kill you because they believe you have committed a crime. You get to defend yourself. To say it's okay to just kill people if you believe they're bringing drugs into the country is profoundly un-American, and is the kind of stuff you will hear out of a dictator. Number 2, even if we had some way to be absolutely positive that these people are dealing drugs, and we don't, the punishment for dealing drugs is not death. According to our justice system, the American justice system that you and I both believe in and support, the punishment for dealing drugs, it doesn't matter on what scale, is not execution. So while our president continues to order the military to blow boats out of the water without ever offering us a shred of proof that they've done anything wrong, and openly advocates for murder, why do you still support that? Like, I'm trying here. I'm trying so hard to understand, and I just can't. So please let me know in the comments.
I am so done with this bullshit, man. Okay, I was raised in a narcissistic family with an abusive parent, and Donald Trump is the epitome of what that was. Donald Trump is convincing everyone that follows him that he is some savior. No one can do it like he does. He's the coolest thing in the world. I experienced that in my household, and the person who was saying that was the most ridiculous, delusional, egotistical person, liar, deceitful person I will ever meet in my life. So I don't understand how, I don't know every political, nuance of how bad he is, but it's pretty obvious as a person how bad he is. I don't understand how people in our nation fall for the idea that, no one can do it like him, and he's got to be the one that does it, and blah, blah. Y'all are literally in psychosis, okay? Anyone would do better. Everything he says is a lie. I hope you wake up.
This is what happened when you ignore the warnings, when you ignore people try to warn you. And you saw the Caroline say oh, the only thing the president is focused on, is just building the ballroom. Yeah, he doesn't focus on SNAP benefit. He doesn't focus on you guys suffering, can't afford a grocery anymore. He don't care about that. He's only caring about ballroom. Imagine that kind of the president you MAGA voted, you put in the office. Imagine that. Wow, this is insane, guys. Let's keep watching.
You care about that, right? You want hardworking Americans. Okay, great. Then why didn't you vote for Kamala Harris, who wanted to do a 25% down payment on a home for people that are struggling to live paycheck for paycheck? Why didn't you vote for Kamala Harris, who does not? Hold on. I'm going to tell you who's going to pay for it. That was my next point. Donald Trump gave the biggest tax breaks to the top 1% in this country and his billionaire friends. Kamala Harris wanted to lower the tax bracket to 27% for income families that are making under $400,000 total income. Donald Trump is going to do the opposite, just like he did in his first administration. So I believe you, sir, David, when you say you think it's terrible that people can't afford a home, that people are losing homes. I'm with you 100% on that. Then why would you vote against your interest and vote for a guy by the name of Donald J. Trump, who does not want to give tax breaks to those that are struggling, who does not want to give a $25,000 down payment to people that are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck? Why do people like you vote against your own interests?
So when you're saying that she was going to tax other people. So
yes, the top 1%. The top, no, that's not how it works. She doesn't want to give, I'm going to explain it. I'm explaining it to you. She doesn't want to give the biggest tax breaks in decades to billionaires and CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. Most Democrats agree with Kamala Harris that they want the rich to pay their fair share. Now, what do I mean by that? I'll tell you why. If you're making $25,000 a year, you shouldn't be paying the same percentage on taxes as somebody like an Elon Musk. But MAGA Republicans and the people, with all due respect, that you voted for, Donald Trump, do not want to change their tax bracket percentage-wise to the billionaires. You see, if billionaires paid a higher percentage on their taxes and those living paycheck to paycheck got a break on their taxes, which is exactly what Kamala Harris wanted to do, then the people that you say you're...
Other people paying for my house, they're paying a higher percentage.
It's not
that money, and then
it's not. It's not. It's a. It's a because it's a loan, and over time you would have to pay it back. And you know why they'd be able to pay it back? Because Kamala Harris, wait for it, wanted to lower their taxes. It was in her plan that so many people, maybe people like you, said Kamala Harris, wait for it, wanted to lower the...
What was the cause of the Civil War, the U.S. Civil War in the 1800s?
What was the cause of the Civil War?
What do you think the cause of the Civil War was?
I don't know.
What would you say is the cause of the Civil War?
The Civil War? What caused the Civil War? They mostly, I'm thinking of the first war when we became Americans.
And then we had a Civil War. What do you think caused our Civil War?
Sin, I suppose, you know. There was something evil. Mankind is hard on each other, man. Yeah.
And what do you think, sir, was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Of the Civil War? Well, let's see. The North and South, they couldn't get along. It could happen here, too.
Do you think we're near that?
Hear what?
Do you think we're getting toward a Civil War again?
The good Lord only knows.
Yeah, guys, let's talk about this like calmly. And let me say something, guys. Look how he always bring about tariff to the country, and you know, like you are just increasing your tariff, and you know the product or you have in your country, there's other country who have them, right? So if you add that one, like without thinking about it, like exaggeration, do you think people will still buy from you? Because of what? Because you feel like what? They can always find another supplier. They can always go to other country to buy soybeans or whatever they want. It's not mandatory to buy from the US. That should be clear. So this is what's happening actually. And what's so sad is the way MAGA don't want to see that. Economy is collapsing, it's doing worse. But some MAGA, of course, they're freaking out. They see that, they're regretting, but others, they're still in denial, believing that he's going to save them. He's going to make you go deeper and deeper in a problem. That's what he do. That's what he does. That's who he is. Because you can't tell me you just voted for the person who can't even manage his own company to manage the whole country. Your ignorance is what brings you to this stage. I see many MAGA crying like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Blah, blah, blah. What are you gonna do? This is what you voted for. This is what you choose. Many Americans, many families, they're suffering because you voted for this. That's what's happening. But so sad, there's some of you who don't want to see. That's why I always say something, I keep saying it, MAGA, they're selfish, they don't support one another. Because there's no way I still support these things and this president if I see my friends, my MAGAs, they're suffering. But you don't care as long as it's not affecting you direct. That's how you are. You people don't love each other. You guys, you are not like in the same boat. You're just selfish. Everyone is looking out for themselves to see how they can survive this. They don't care if there are other MAGA suffering. Because I didn't see you do anything when farmers were going bankrupt. I didn't see you do anything when the construction site was like collapsing. You were always saying if it's come to you now, the one we have crying right now is because of SNAP benefit. Now they are crying, those one. But those one who don't have any money issue, they are like, oh, quit crying, why, blah, 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 blah. That's really insane. It's insane to see how MAGA acting, and it's so sad to see some people stay in denial while many Americans are suffering, many families are suffering, even to pay grocery, to pay bills, to pay rent and stuff like that. So, and my question is this the best economy you voted for? This is what you call to make America great again? This is what you voted for actually? I know this is not what you wanted. You wanted you to be okay, to be safe, but other to suffer. But guess what? This is starting from you. And it's hurt more because you voted for this. You know, I understand even people who didn't vote for this, they are suffering from this. But again, they don't feel guilty that they caused this. That's the difference. So guys, let's talk in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. I wish you next one as always. Bye.